Welcome to the Warning Track Power Hour. I am Dr. Andrew Scaff. He is Dr. Michael Werman, Esquire. On today's show, we'll be talking about the now very injured Kansas City Royals, but also resurgent at the same time, playing quite well the last couple of days. We'll talk a little bit about the NBA draft and the big blockbuster trade that happened earlier today, just before the draft. But we will begin today where we started last week, Mike. This is the second full week of the World Cup action. Team USA won a second game. Now they won their group, I think, technically, officially outright. And
Mhm.
some of the stars are still playing very well across the board. Messi had another couple of goals, as did uh, Erling Haaland. So yeah, are you still fully invested in this World Cup this year? For all Team USA all the way, or are you still not really on the USA winning the World Cup bandwagon?
Well, I don't know if the USA can win the World Cup or not, but I think been playing really well. They played against Australia. They won 2-0. That was without Pulisic, their best
Yep.
player, playing. He was nursing a calf injury, sort of day to day. He seems like he's getting better every day. So he probably could play against Turkey in Game 3. If they decided to do that, they might just I can see the U.S. just resting all their stars since they have won the group outright already.
Mhm.
It doesn't really, and Turkey is not, they're not able to advance, so I think they might not
Yeah.
have much to play for either. It'll just be sort of a friendly situation. Hopefully, just one that the USA doesn't gets players through, doesn't get hurt, doesn't accumulate any additional yellow cards. Uh,
Right. I think that
so
was that was some of the talk too. Was like, yeah, maybe just resting anyone that has a yellow card already
Yellow
too.
card
So
because they could, yeah, they get another one, they could miss the round of 32. And so yeah, so this it's been a World Cup, a dream World Cup so far for the US. Best start they could have had. I think the first time they've won two games since the 1930 World Cup, at
right.
least in the group stage, or early on, their first two games, I think since the 1930 World Cup is the first time that's happened. So, yeah, the USA looks pretty good against Australia. They didn't maybe go quite as dominant as they did against Paraguay, but it didn't really matter. And it wasn't they didn't have Pulisic, so I think they were
Yeah.
they were a weaker team that was starting already. He is their best player, so and you can kind of see that when they're all together, how what difference he makes
Mm.
for them. But yeah, it's been really good. So USA could win. I think the traditional powers. I think France and Germany have looked solid. But even England today couldn't beat Ghana. It was a 0-0 tie. Even though they dominated the game, they still couldn't score. So any one goal here or there can make the difference. So there could be some upsets in the rounds. Yeah, Argentina's looked good with Messi. Um,
Yeah,
uh,
scored all of their goals
he
and
scored five goals. I think
yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo got a couple goals today for Portugal. He didn't score any of the previous game, so he's on the scoreboard now.
That was a
Um,
big 5-0 win, I think, right? Wasn't
Against Uzbekistan,
it?
yeah,
5-0. Spain
and
won their second game for not being able to win their first
mhm,
appearance.
as did Brazil. So there's I think the teams that we think we're gonna there haven't been any, well, at least not yet. There haven't been any huge upsets of teams that we thought were going to be really good that are now out of things. Maybe Turkey is probably one of the biggest surprises because I think people thought Turkey might challenge the United States and the other teams in that group to win the group since they're a European um, side. Um, but yeah, um, it's
What
been
what do you think about Scotland's chance of advancing? If you think they can get by Brazil
Well, they can advance as a third place team.
Yeah,
So they've already got one win. They got the win over Haiti, so maybe that it will be enough for them to advance. Although Brazil will probably try to win and win big, maybe just to win their group. So yeah,
yeah,
Scotland could be on the outside looking in. The eight of the 12 third place teams will advance. So that means four teams won't. So um, I think if they could get a tie, if they could get to 4 points, they'd be guaranteed to be through probably. Um,
yeah.
but if not, maybe they could, depending on how the other teams end up. Um, yeah, I don't know about Scotland. Canada, the other hosts, Canada and Mexico, are both looking solid as well
Mm,
to win their groups. Canada is uh, right now in the first place in their group in Group B because of goal differential. Mexico's in first place in Group A because they've won both their games. Um, so I think Mexico has won their group also, just like the United States has won
yeah,
uh, its group, and Germany has won their group. I think those are the three countries that have definitely won the group. Maybe Argentina also may I think has possibly. I don't know if they possibly won their group or not because they haven't
they haven't
uh,
played Austria yet, though. I don't think, right?
they haven't played Austria yet, so maybe that they could change things. But they will likely, based on goal differential, they will likely win.
Yeah,
Um, their group. But I guess head to head is settling ties now more than just goal differential. So I don't know exactly. They changed some of the tie breaking uh, rules this go round. So I'm not exactly sure
mm,
how it works now, which is why the USA has won their group outright because technically Australia and Paraguay could end up with 6 points, tying the United States if their goal differential. Because if it was just they get it's based on head to head first, I think. So the United States beat Australia
yeah,
and Paraguay. So if those two teams end up tied with the United States wins. But it used to just be based on goal differential and um, so if Australia and Paraguay ended up tying the U.S. with 6 points, USA's a +5 right now goal differential, so they're way ahead of either Australia or Paraguay. But theoretically, they could if they lost, you know, 8-0 and Australia and Paraguay won big, they could have dropped down to second or third place in the group,
right.
but not the way this year's World Cup is being scored. The tiebreakers are head to head first.
First,
Yeah.
have you been more as interested in the like the off the field stories about the fans and the different communities that they've encamped in during the build up to the games, like during the non-game days, like the Scottish fans apparently like drinking Boston dry or putting the
Yeah,
traffic cones on statues, stuff like that.
I followed some of that. Yeah, I've seen some things like that, which has been kind of fun to watch and like see the Europeans experience free drink refills and things like that.
Right.
Um, but or big gas stations.
Or going to a Costco, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Those are funny.
yeah,
Sometimes,
yeah,
yeah, some of those stories are almost as amusing as like the games themselves have been, I think. So
yeah. Most of the games have been pretty good. There haven't been too many. There have been a few 0-0 ties, but not too many. Uh,
yeah.
And there have been some teams that they thought wouldn't do well at all that have gotten some points, like Cape Verde. They tied both Spain and Uruguay, uh,
Hmm.
and have a very good chance of making it into the round of 32 if they can beat Saudi Arabia. Um, even um, was Cape Verde? Even Curacao got a point against Ecuador. Um,
Yeah.
and
That was in Kansas City.
Kansas City. That I think Curacao was one of the three teams, along with I think Haiti and Jordan, I think, were the three teams that were plus 250,000 or something like that
Yeah.
to win.
Oh yeah, we didn't. I don't think I wrote those down even though, because that was I was gonna check to see because I asked you if about the over under 1.5 victory across all the teams that had the longest odds of
So
winning the World Cup. And
that
I
was
wonder if any of those teams got a victory.
Jordan. It was Haiti, Jordan, and was it Curacao, I think. So Curacao got a tie. Haiti and Jordan have each lost 2 games.
So the
It'll be
under would still be holding
yeah.
with one game remaining
Ha-
for all those teams
Haiti
then.
still plays Morocco. Curacao still plays Ivory Coast, and Jordan still plays Argentina, maybe.
For Austria? No, Argentina. They play Algeria, right?
Jordan
Doesn't
plays.
Argentina have Austria left?
I think Jordan already played Algeria. Maybe not. I don't know. I thought Jordan hadn't played Argentina yet. I don't think.
Oh, okay. Maybe that. Yeah, that must be it then.
'Cause that would have been a huge blowout. I think the Jordan that would have been Jordan Argentina.
Yeah,
At least the thought would be that would be a huge blowout. But maybe not now with Argentina winning their group.
maybe they won't go all out.
Yeah, they might not play Messi. But yeah, so I think it's been entertaining uh first couple of weeks of the World Cup, and there haven't been any real negative storylines that have popped up, so that's nice.
Right.
Although I heard that President Trump is planning on awarding the championship trophy to the winning team.
Of
Uh,
course.
that's the FIFA Peace Prize winner is putting himself into the
Right.
ceremonies.
Naturally.
So I guess that would
And
he'd be
where is the final game being played? Is that
it's in New York or
in New
New
York?
Jersey,
That makes sense.
at MetLife Stadium, the New York New Jersey Stadium as they call it, uh,
Right.
the World
That's
Cup.
physically in New Jersey.
Yeah,
You can call it whatever you want. It's in New Jersey though, right?
yeah, yeah. But they don't use the sponsored names, so they just call it whatever.
Right. Right. Right.
So I think it's technically called New York New Jersey Stadium for
Yeah.
FIFA purposes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been fun so far. We'll see how it ends up. The United States is yeah, they're hosting the
Like,
2026 World Cup. They're also, it seems like, in line maybe to host the 2038 World Cup, which is next time it's going to be in possibly awarded to the CONCACAF Federation. So I think next World Cup 2030 is going to be in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, with some extra games to be held in South America because of the 100th anniversary of the World Cup, which
uh,
was in Uruguay. I was reading about that earlier.
hmm.
Um,
There'll be some extra travel requirements for a couple of at least whoever's playing down there.
yeah, and then the 2034 World Cup is going to be in Saudi Arabia, according to what I've seen. So that's going to be an interesting, and probably going to be held in winter time again.
It almost have to be.
Yeah, the
Unless it's
Qatar, because Qatar was held in the winter.
hmm. Yeah. So yeah, US plays again Thursday night, late game, 9 p.m. Central, back in California, SoFi.
Yes.
Slight favorites, not big favorites though. My minus 105. Are you going big on that bet, or are you holding
No,
off on betting on
I'm
that game
hold.
just because you don't know who's going to be playing in that one?
Yeah, I'm holding off on betting that one because we don't know um who's going to be playing. So I think that's probably wiser to stay away from that one. Maybe if I see who's playing in the see the lineups announced, maybe that'll change things for me. But I'll
Yeah,
stay away from that one. I will probably only make bets if I make a bet on some big favorite, like I did. I've made two bets so far in the World Cup. I bet the USA to beat Australia, and that was at minus 160. Um, and then I bet Brazil to beat Haiti, which was minus 1,000. I bet $50 to win $5
yes,
there,
big
which
winner there. Yeah.
yeah, and that was an easy win. So,
Were
but
you like holding your breath until they scored the first goal? It didn't take that long actually, but
once they scored their first goal, I
yeah,
was feeling pretty good. Um,
I don't think it was that far into the game, wasn't it?
Especially their
Within the first,
second goal.
it
That
was in
was
like the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, wasn't it?
yeah, it wasn't too late. It wasn't too long. It
Uh,
was in the first half. They scored, I think, two or three in the first half. So
yeah, yeah. I don't think it was too far in. Yeah, 23rd minute was the first goal. Yeah, and yeah, two before the half. Oh, actually, the third was in the extra time of the first half, the added time.
mm,
So it was 3-0 at the half. 3-0. That was the final.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No sweating on that bet, I don't think.
no, no, not at all. So yeah, it was nice. Yeah, so I might big I don't know. There's other what other big favorites are. I might make a. I was thinking that well, it's harder to make a bet on the third game because of the moving pieces of who's going to be playing, who's not going to be playing. Um,
Right.
but
So you got
like
you
that
still have some big games left.
Jordan game, like that Argentina Jordan game is one I would might make a bet on Argentina, even though because they'd be a big favorite. They'd probably be minus. I don't know what they are.
Oh no, this tonight is the last night of the second games,
Yeah,
which is and the final one is being played right now. So yeah, you're out of
yeah, it's all third
second
games.
games. It's
Yeah,
all third games or waiting till the round of 30,
around
round of
32.
32. Yeah.
I'm looking at the.
You would think that, probably Mexico, Czechia in Mexico City, even
Yeah,
if they're resting people, they're probably going to be pretty amped up for that one.
yeah. Jordan, Algeria, Argentina, or Jordan, Argentina. Argentina's only minus 600. Jordan plus 1,500. So that might be a
Hmm.
that might be a bet. Panama, England. England is minus 650. They need that game though.
Netherlands, Tunisia is minus 750.
Ooh, I see minus
Netherlands.
900 on FanDuel right now
Oh, okay.
for Netherlands.
This is just on DraftKings, I guess,
Okay.
via ESPN.
I'm just looking at the app. And that's
Belgium over New Zealand is a fairly big one too. You could bet on ties though too.
I
I
know
didn't look
that's
at
what I
that.
like. I like to think about that. Yeah.
Ties pay out fairly well, I think, don't they?
Yeah. Like if Curacao and Ivory Coast tied, I could get plus 600 or something like that.
You could
Plus
make a bigger
700. Plus
you could make a
700.
bigger bet on your short odds and then a couple of small bets
Yeah.
on the ties.
Yeah. Yeah, I might do something like that. We'll see.
Uh, might be a
Yeah.
little more fun at least, and something they have a little interest in some of these games that maybe don't seem too interesting on paper.
Yes. Okay.
So
You want to move on from the World
yeah,
Cup
what are we?
to you can talk about the NBA having their draft tonight. First overall pick was AJ Dybantsa from BYU. Second, Darren Peterson from your favorite university, University of Kansas, taken by the Utah Jazz with the second pick.
So
Um,
yeah, but the two Big 12 players won too, right?
1-2, yeah. And Carlos Boozer's number three to the Grizzlies. I mean, Cameron Boozer, not Carlos Boozer's son, Cameron Boozer, uh,
Yes.
number three. Um, but yeah, no, they're currently moving on through the first round right now. I believe the Knicks are on the clock right now. So for some reason, they have the 24th. They have the I guess they have the 24th pick. I guess it's not. They don't get the last pick because they get that they won. They made the order of against order of record
Is it?
after
Oh yeah, yeah.
after you get out of the lottery, just order of record rather than uh, uh
Right. They don't wait
playoff.
till the end of the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Knicks just selected Cameron Carr from Baylor,
Yeah.
and New York is trading number 24 to the Lakers for 25. It says, so I don't know what that means. That means Cameron Carr is going to the Lakers instead of
Yeah, that's
the
weird. That's weird how that's listed right now. That's how it shows on mine. I'm not watching the live feed. This is just the ESPN site.
yes, what I'm looking at too. Um,
Or what? Or did the Lakers trade down one, and that's what happened? No, it says traded to LA Lakers. Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't
It
either.
shows it
The
shows
NBA,
Lakers on the clock.
I don't understand the draft in the NBA sometimes. They have a lot of more sign and trades on the NBA than they end up instead of trading picks before they pick, they draft and then
They
they
have to
trade.
make the draft,
Yeah.
but then
Oh,
trade, and then the trade is something that happens on paper afterwards.
yeah, it's a different system than the NFL. I'd follow the NFL more. Um,
You trade the pick rather than the player that the pick
yeah.
is assigned to.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. The biggest news coming out of the before the draft was that the Bucks traded Giannis Antetokounmpo uh, to Miami,
Miami
the Heat.
Heat.
So another big star going to taking his talents to South Beach, as LeBron once said. Um,
Yes.
so now I think so. Bam Adebayo and Giannis are going to be on the same team in Miami. So maybe they're one of the new favorites in the East, perhaps now. Or do you think that makes Miami a better team? They're trading away a lot. They lost several draft picks, other players. Um, yeah, there's a lot going on in that trade. Uh, what do you think of it?
Yeah, four players, and then yeah, three first round picks, and two of the first round picks are well into the future, 2031, 2033, Mike, are the two first round picks. That seems awfully crazy to like give away count that far away in the future.
Hmm.
It's yeah, well, do you think Antetokounmpo will still be in Miami in 2020 2033 when that last pick is
He'd
made
be
by as
38
per the drafts?
years old at that point. He might still be there. I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably. I don't know how long his contract's going to be. Um, yeah, I could see him still there. He played in 11 seasons so far with the Bucks. But he was injured a lot of last year. He only played 36.
exactly half the season.
I think there's 82 games, right, in a season?
Oh yeah, no, it's 82 games. Yeah, less than half that.
Less than half, yeah. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Um,
Yeah, his contract is only as of now only goes to the 2028 season, Mike.
okay, so he could be anywhere by that point. Yeah. They'll probably get a longer term deal. I could see them going for a longer term deal to stick with.
You would think that the deal would involve a sign and trade sort of thing, like maybe a max contract
Mhm.
signing to have draft picks being that far out in the future to be part of this deal. Wouldn't you think?
Something like that. Yeah, that would make sense. That would make sense. But you'd probably want to keep him long term.
You'd want like a guarantee that he's going to be there for at least several years, not just two more seasons. That's what the contract is right now. So yeah, it could just be two as of right now, is what we know at least, since this trade was just made announced a few hours ago for
Hmm.
us. That yeah, he's only technically under contract for two more seasons. That seems pretty nuts if that really is all you're getting. Would you think a player could be worth that amount of capital?
Well, if you get two championships out of it, maybe.
Yeah. What would you need to get? Would you need the two championships to make it worth it, or
Probably at least one.
one a deep run and one?
Yeah, probably. I think maybe that would be enough.
Yeah, because they have like Miami has. Well, they went to the finals not that long ago, right?
Yeah, they've been pretty good with. Well, 'cause guess this might be Pat Riley's probably going to retire at some point very soon. So
Yeah,
too many more years left. Um, yeah. When did Miami last? Uh,
I think they were in the finals just like
they won.
2 years ago. Or something.
Yeah, they were in the finals in 2023 and 2020. Their last
Yeah,
championship though was 2013. So it's been a little while.
2013 would have still been
LeBron
LeBron. Yeah,
won 2012 and 2013 and
yeah,
2006.
yeah.
Um, oh, speaking of, remember we were talking about gambling a little bit. Did you see that the NFL decided not to have a supplemental draft
I
to
did see that. Yes.
pick up Brendan Sor
So he will be in
Sorsby?
limbo then officially. I guess is the
Yeah, he's going to be not playing anywhere next year. He can't play in college apparently, and he won't be able to play in the pros either.
mm,
So where he'll be is
I did look into a little more of like the his betting past just because I was curious about what it
Mhm.
was, and it was they did mention that he the total amount of dollar amount of bets he made was like somewhere around $90,000.
Yeah,
They did say it was thousands of bets though, so like the dollar amounts must not have been that
fairly
large,
high. Yeah, but hasn't made up a lot of bets. Yeah.
but it must have been a lot of like smallish bets, is what you would assume at least, unless he
Mhm.
like was making and losing large sums like in relatively equal amounts.
Oh, I
No,
see.
that
Yeah.
can't be it. That can't be right. That's like I don't know. No, I don't know. No, I don't. I'm not sure. But yeah, but there were a number of bets that he made apparently on the team that he was on the roster of
For
while he
Indiana.
was on
Yeah.
the roster, yeah, in Indiana. So that's what makes it look was probably the more damning part
Hmm.
of his betting past. but it sounds like the Big 12 is like potentially facing some legal fees associated with this whole deal with Sorsby and Texas Tech,
Oh, really?
and so like the league is talking about a potential like fine against Texas Tech to like make up the legal fee cost that the league may take on. It's like why the
Oh,
rest of the league does not want to. The individual teams would be paying some amount to like litigate some of this or handle some of the at least the paperwork on the legal side for him to deal with what
hmm.
Texas Tech had done. So there could be some financial aspect behind the scenes that may not sit well with Texas Tech. I think is what some of the worry is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so he can't play in college next year, and he'll
uh, I assume he can still go somewhere and play, right? Don't you think?
CFL, I guess.
It just won't be one of the major conferences. Won't pick him up.
But he can't play in college. They say he won't be able to transfer to another college football team this year.
Oh yeah, because the that's right. Because you do have to go through the portal, I guess, right? And that is not open as of
Yeah.
now. That's all finished for the year,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, so he'd have to play. Yeah,
He could
Canada.
he could possibly go to a JUCO,
Yeah,
um, but maybe I think maybe Canada might be the
it does seem kind of funny that the league would just say like, "Oh, we're just not going to even do the draft." But I guess
yeah.
they haven't really done it all that often. It's only every several years that somebody gets picked, and it's sometimes it's deep into the draft, even before someone actually makes a claim.
Hmm.
Have you seen that? Like how kind of rare the supplemental draft has been. I think it was
Yeah,
like
it's pretty rare.
one player got taken like 3 years ago, but it was like in the
Mhm.
fourth round, something like that. So they actually like go through the motions of like making a claim, not making a claim, like through each team. Like they just, I guess they would just say like no, no claim, no claim, no claim, round two, and they'd actually run through the draft, and just no one just says anything, I guess. But then somebody took somebody like in the fourth after 3 rounds and nothing.
Yeah. Well, they make bids and things like that on what they would wager for, or what they would give to take somebody. I guess fourth round was the highest bid or something.
Yeah.
So that's where you get them. Um, yeah, it's just
But there's usually nobody like even in the draft though, I guess.
yeah, supplemental draft is usually yeah. Most people don't. Yeah, they declare for the regular draft and that's it. Uh, but yeah, let's so we'll see what happens. I guess with Sorsby. Um,
And that
yeah,
was
that's
a quick story though. It went from being like nothing to like kind of craziness and now quickly fading off into back into nothingness, right?
yeah.
No. Anyway, any
Not,
other football news that you found interesting this week?
not especially. There wasn't a whole lot that was going on. It's as we're kind of in the dead season before training camp. You're still, I guess, wondering what's going to happen with Mahomes and his injury. Will he recover in time for the season? Things like that. So that's, I guess, training camp questions. Um,
Yeah.
so this, yeah. So I think that's. I didn't really see much else. So I think we can move on talking about baseball. Now the Royals have had some injury problems of late. Bobby Witt Jr. has gone down. Maikel Garcia has gone down with injuries, in addition to several players who are already injured before. But the Royals have been playing a little better as of late. Right now, they're um, only 8 games out of first place in the Central Division. They are 34 and 46. Won 6 out of their last 10, 2 games in a row, including 2 in a row against playoff worthy competition against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Royals won the last two games against Tampa in Tampa, so maybe that's a signal that the Royals are turning things around ever so slightly. Um, they're 5.5 games out of the wild card right now, so they're still one of the worst teams statistically in the American League, but uh, they've they've come back to the mean a little bit, it seems like right now. So there and some of their players, especially Caglione, has been playing really, really well, carrying the team the last few days with Witt being out with a knee injury. Um, what do you think of Cags in his plays? He's up to 14 home runs now in the season. He had two more earlier today against left-handed competition, as you were quick to point out before we went on the air. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, what's your assessment of Jac Caglianone?
And the first home run wasn't just a home run. It was a massive shot. It said I think they recorded it like 430, something like that, but it like landed up in the catwalks. It seemed like it was much farther than that. I mean, it was, gone off the bat. Like you could tell, everyone could tell
Hmm.
that it was a home run. But and then the second one was a nice, shot to the slightly opposite field too. So like he managed to take, different types of pitches, different locations. Very nice to see him being able to hit lefty starters too, and hit the same starter twice even. So yeah, those are really good signs. It's 6 home runs in the last 5 games, second multi-home run game of the last week as well. Yeah, he's really, really rolling and hitting the ball hard and yeah, driving in runs after they finally have made him an everyday player out of necessity at this point. So they're not trying to platoon him anymore. Looks like a good sign that maybe they won't be doing that in the future, is the
Yeah,
hope.
maybe they trust him as a player who can hit left-handed pitching. Even
They've moved him up to first base as well. So I think maybe that has helped him be a little bit more comfortable too. Maybe he's a little bit more comfortable playing first base.
yeah, that's what he played in college mostly was first base.
Yeah. So that may help a little bit, maybe if that's just where he is more comfortable. Maybe he's not having to think about his defensive assignment quite as much, and maybe he can focus a little bit more on hitting. And it seems like what the result has been, so it's possible that's what's happening. But yeah, he's been playing really well. And yeah, today's lineup was, very different from what the opening day lineup was, and they managed to put 12 runs on the board, and they've not really been able to score more than four or so in a game, for the first couple of months of the season. So seeing them have so many players out and still being able to score 12 runs is a good sign.
Yeah, I
And
think
and they almost need to put up runs like this fairly often to make sure the bullpen can hold up,
yeah, because they've had a lot
which
of
has
injuries
not
as well too.
been so great.
And the bullpen hasn't played well, but they also have a lot of injuries in the pitching staff, so they need more runs as much as they can. They need to score as many runs as possible. So yeah, well, we'll play one more. I think they'll play one more in Tampa.
Got
Uh,
two more in Tampa. It's a
two
four
more in
game
Tampa.
series.
4-game series.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then yeah, I'm not sure where they go next though. I haven't looked that far ahead. Let's see where they're headed after Tampa. I assume it's the road trip must be continuing. They go to the division leading White Sox after this, Mike,
Ooh, okay. At
before
Chicago,
getting coming back home to play the
then play,
Rays when
and
they're
then
away and home apparently.
yeah,
And then the Phillies will be here after that.
and then at the Mets and at Baltimore.
I think that must take us to the All-Star break. Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be the All-Star break. So where is the All-Star game this year, Mike?
I don't know. It is in
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia on July 14th. Philadelphia celebrate 250th anniversary of the United States on Bastille Day, 2026.
Seems like a good time to celebrate America's 250th on
Hmm.
Bastille Day.
Yes.
Ah,
This is
the
the
famous
first.
American holiday, Bastille Day.
Yeah, this is the first holiday. This is the first um, time the Phillies will have hosted at their current Citizens Bank Park. Australia. They haven't hosted an All-Star game since 1996.
So
So,
if you were to call it right now, though, Mike, who do you think the Royals representative or representatives might be for
well, you'll
this
have
year's
Witt, I think, for sure.
All-Star game?
Um, maybe Caglianone, if he keeps playing well, could be seen as a reserve. But Witt would probably is going to be voted in, I would guess. Um,
I think.
or I don't, but he's not. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how the votes. Um,
I think the voting's already started. I have not looked at what the have they released voting numbers yet?
there's two phases of fan voting.
Yeah, it looks like there already are ballots.
Right now,
So
Bobby Witt is the uh, leader in the AL by a long shot. Uh,
yeah, he's like doubled up,
yeah.
almost doubled up. I would think that like Waka will have a pretty good shot. I think too from the
Hmm.
start from the starting pitchers, because he's had a pretty solid season so far. Though probably has a shot at being on that AL roster.
Could be.
Yeah, that's those are just all selected positions though. Those for the pitching staff.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'll have a shot at making it then.
Did you
I
always
think
think it
that
was strange that you could vote for position players, but you couldn't vote for pitchers? At least
that's a
when we
little
were,
odd. Yeah,
why was that the case? Why not be able to vote for pitchers?
I think it's like that they want to give the coaching staff like a more of a choice as to how they which players get picked and which player how they use them, because I think they use a lot of starters even though you typically only have one
Yeah.
starter, but you might run through two or three guys at an inning apiece and then or an inning or two apiece. But then
Hmm.
you still want to have like representatives for like back into the bullpen types, because it's kind of weird, really, right? I mean, a single All Star game is still only 9 innings, but you're not really going to use middle relievers or long relievers or
Yeah. I
really
think,
specialty loogies. No loogies, no roogies.
yeah.
You could just go from like two starters to a slew of closers would be how you would probably stack your pitching staff, but you kind of want representatives from like each of the different parts of the bullpen.
Yeah, it also says fans are excluded from this is what Google AI tells me. Fans are
Oh,
excluded from voting for MLB All-Star pitchers because of the highly unpredictable nature of pitching schedules. If fans voted a specific starting pitcher in the game, the pitcher might not end up making a regular season start just days before the exhibition, making them unavailable to play. So they had to maybe on their they would
man.
I don't know if that's really true or not, but
I think that I mean it is usually the
part of
case,
it.
but part of it is though too. Like, why wouldn't you just name them an all star and then
Mm,
they would just decline, and then the coach would then replace them anyway? So like, what does it matter, right?
yeah.
I think last year there were a couple of players, I think from the Phillies, I think that were not very happy with the selection process because they like were, you know, league leaders and the the NL coach was like, saying, well, he pitched on 2 days before the All-Star game, so he was going to decline anyway. So why would I name him to the team? But it seems like there's usually a lot of times there's like a roster bonus or some kind of contract incentive for being named to an All-Star game. So it seems like you would
Mhm.
just go ahead and name people to All-Star games and let them decline, and then let them pick from the pool to fill in the gaps. Especially if there's contract incentives there, some manager could be like just a total jerk, basically, right? And
Yeah.
like not give this guy his all-star nod just to make sure he doesn't trigger that clause in his contract. Would you be a petty manager, Mike? Would you do that to players you didn't like?
Possibly. I try to be not that petty. Like possibly maybe I would. I don't know. If I didn't like a player, perhaps. But I'd try to steer clear of those pettiness because then uh, management could treat you pettily as well if you tried to do that to other players. So um, yeah, so that's All-Star game coming up in another 3 weeks or so. So that'll be held just
Yes.
before a few days before the World Cup final, which is July 19th. So July 14th is the MLB All-Star game in Philadelphia. July 19th is the World Cup final in New York slash New Jersey slash the stadium formerly known as MetLife Stadium. So a
Yes.
lot of big things coming up in July. We also have the MLB draft will be coming up in July. We'll have a little bit of preview for that. Um, and so we have a few more weeks of World Cup action, many more weeks of baseball action, a few more weeks of inaction for the Chiefs and the end of the NFL teams. We'll have training camp starting at least by the end of July. Um, there. So we're starting to heat up this summer uh, with interesting happenings. Are there any other topics we should tackle before we end this week's episode of the Warren Trek Power Hour?
Hmm. No, I don't think. Yeah, sports wise, I think we've got it pretty well covered.
Yeah, we didn't go off onto our into pop culture tangents today so much, but maybe we will know more next week. Um, I yeah, I think. Have you seen? Yeah, we talked a little before last week before we started. Have you seen any movies that have come out recently?
No, no new movies. I
But
did I did see one new show that I found hilarious though so far. It's like one of the most uncomfortable humor shows I've seen in a while. Called Alice and Steve. Michael,
Alice and Steve.
this is one you should check out. I think it's on Disney. It's Jermaine Clement
Okay,
is
from
the
Play of the Concords. Yeah.
Flight of the Concords. Yeah, it's one of the most uncomfortable like friendship comedies possible.
Okay.
If you like the discomfort sort of humor,
Sometimes I do. I like Jermaine Clement.
like like The Office
Hmm.
shows like that have that like really ratchet up the discomfort. It's high on there.
Maybe I'll check that out. Uh, I saw Disclosure Day recently in the theater.
Oh yeah,
That was pretty
I've
good.
not
Much
seen
of that
that.
takes place or at least the movie is set in Kansas City for a large amount of the time. So it wasn't actually filmed in Kansas City, but I felt like they got the
Right.
feeling of Kansas City down pretty well. Like you could tell, like the buildings weren't quite Kansas City, but like the way the streets looked and the way things seemed, I thought it seemed pretty spot on in
Yeah.
terms of feeling like Kansas City. Uh, there were a couple of weird, if you are aware of geography in the area, there was some place called Excelsior, Missouri, that maybe they meant Excelsior Springs. Uh, but there's no, I don't think there's an Excelsior, Missouri. Hayes, Kansas was also featured on the weather map, but it was spelled Hayes instead of
Um, was
His.
it like where it was supposed to be on the map?
Yeah, it was where it was
Like
supposed
in
to be. It was, but it
like in
was
Western
somebody
Kansas?
somebody hadn't maybe checked
Hmm.
spelling that
No,
close. So eagle-eyed
that's funny.
viewers could find fault with the geography, which is maybe even more fun than not finding fault with the geography of movies like that. So
Yeah.
the natives of Hayes, Kansas, I'm sure were up in arms. There's Hayes. I'm gonna look up Hayes, Kansas misspelled.
Disrespected in the
Yeah.
major movie release. Yeah, that's not great for Hayes residents.
Reddit has a thing. The Hayes was misspelled. Somebody mentioned that their hometown of
Because it's
Hayes.
just it's Hays, right?
Hays, yeah, not
Yeah.
like Hayes, like Rutherford B. Hayes, but just Hays. But
Maybe it was done on purpose. Maybe they tried to get Hayes to sign off on it. They were like, "No, we don't want nothing to do with this." Like, fine, we'll just misspell your name. So, you think that's how it went?
that's right.
Yeah, probably not. Was part of the movie taking place there, or they just like showed it on a map
For Kansas City?
for Hayes?
Oh, for Hayes, it was just on the weather map.
Ah,
Uh, they had some places in Kansas on the weather map, and other cities near Kansas City that were on the weather map. But yeah, it was a made up station. And also, it seemed to have a lot. The TV news seemed to have a lot of staff, maybe more so than would be at a regular TV news staff. I don't think they have like 30 or 40 people involved in the filming of regular news broadcasts, but maybe they do. I'm not sure. Um,
oh,
but
every broadcast? I don't know.
it was a pretty good movie. Um,
So it's recommend you do you recommend it? Multiple thumbs up.
yeah, yeah, at least one thumb up.
Oh, there's going to be a warning track power hour reveal that Mike has extra thumbs.
No, I just have two.
Just just the standard number.
Standard number. Standard number of thumbs. Well, we're also doing the standard number of episodes of the One Trip Power Analysis. We were back on Tuesdays, we recorded and then released on Thursday in the week. So we were off a little bit last week, but now we're back on schedule,
Yes.
and we'll have another episode again next week for us. So, as always, I am Dr. Michael Werman. He is Dr. Andrew Scaff. We are the Warning Track Power Hour. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and or our podcast, available on many different podcast delivery platforms, including the one you're likely using right now. We thank you for your listenership, your viewership, your patronage in general, and your patience with us as we carry on for hours and hours every week talking about the world of sports and the world of entertainment when we get to that as well. So, thank you for indulging us. We appreciate your support, and we will be back next week with another exciting episode devoted to the World Cup. Any other sports news that comes across uh, our attention, and we will discuss those matters as we do every week with courage and aplomb. Is that how you would describe the one trip power hour, Dr. Scaff?
I don't think I would have come up with that exact phrase, but what? But
We we
I
we
approve.
we,
But I approve though.
we pull no punches here in one trip power hour. Um, so But we wish you all the best of luck this weekend if you're making bets on the World Cup games. As long as you're interested, not conflict with ours, we don't really have any interest that you can conflict with, at least not as of yet. We each, I believe, made early bets on who would win the World Cup among the favorites. Dr. Scaff, I believe, bet on Spain and the Netherlands. Netherlands looking good, and their second game so far, especially against Sweden, winning 5-1 in that game.
Mhm.
Spain is still one of the powers, despite their tie against um Cape Verde in the first uh, game. For my two teams, France and Brazil, are also looking good despite Brazil's tie against Morocco. They've looked better against Haiti, and France has looked really good so far against Senegal and Iraq. So um, both of those teams are still in it. And the United States is still looking strong. So we look forward to seeing them hopefully advance beyond just the round of 32, which they're already guaranteed to be in at this point. So we uh, are excited to see how the World Cup turns out. We will watch that along with you, and we will be rooting for our teams, including the United States, of course, as the weeks go on, hopefully. So until next week, we'll be back again with another exciting episode of the One Trick Power Hour. We wish you all a good day.